aliens, ETs, and Archons, rethinking the Sophia Mythos. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This is New Cosmic Knowledge. Glad to have you with us here today. It's Saturday. It's Saturday morning, and it's a great time to be talking about Archons. It's a great time to be talking about aliens. It's a great time to be talking about ETs. Sterling from Osaka, Japan says the Earth is very active. She be on the move. It's Tanabata here in Japan. Been here 31 years now. Don't ever remember a clear night to see Tanabata. Not sure exactly what that is, but it does sound interesting. Tanabata. What is Tanabata? Tanabata is the Star Festival, a Japanese festival originating from the Chinese festival, meeting of the deities of Oremi and Hikoboshi, Vega and Altair, allegedly or respectively. According to legend, the Milky Way separates these lovers, and they're allowed to meet only once a year on the 7th day of the lunar month of the lunar solar calendar. So very interesting, Sterling. Thanks for sharing with that. So happy Tanabata to you. And let's hope those lovers find themselves and enjoy this day. So good morning to everyone. And you know, we started yesterday on this study about Sophia, rethinking the Sophia mythos, rethinking the whole Sophia story. And as we went and talked about it yesterday, I think you got a brand new perspective on Sophia. And I certainly hope that we continue to bring that to you today. And my idea here is that it is an intuitive perspective. It's also a perspective that takes into account the Nag Hammadi scriptures through which much of this is presented to us are just as subject to the diamond-dung ratio as the New Testament is, and that the Gnostics were great, deep teachers, and they wouldn't have just left their diamonds lying on the top of the ground. So there is some work that has to be done. There is some investigation that has to be done. And as we talk about Sophia, Archons, extraterrestrials, and aliens, if you remember yesterday's show, and if you haven't seen it, go watch it right after this one. And if you haven't installed Fluffy yet, Focused Life Force Energy, please do so today. Put yourself in a high consciousness field where you can excel in your spiritual gifts and progress. So we learned yesterday that the fall of Sophia wasn't really a fall at all. It was Sophia wanting to go out and explore, wanting to go out and discover, wanting to go out and do some daring do, and her male consort saying no, and mistakenly, in my opinion, letting her go on her own, not supporting her, not being with her, not standing by her side as he should have. So I don't know what happened to the correction of him. How come he didn't get corrected? But at any rate, Sophia's interjection of herself into the inanimate universe had some unintended effects. They were in the stellar core, the place of creation, Andromeda, whatever you want to call it. They were there. The Klingons would call it Jacquerie. But they were there. And when she left, she went into inanimate, dead space, and maybe inanimate, dead time as well. And there was both spiritually inanimate matter, and there was physically inanimate matter. And as Sophia passed through, her train, her essence, her energetic glory, if you will, had unintended consequences. It led to spontaneous creation of life just by her passing through. And this is the real story of the creation of Yaldabaoth. Yaldabaoth was not a one-off creation of a single entity, and that this single entity, Yaldabaoth, created all the Archons. Yaldabaoth never created anything. Yaldabaoth does not have creative power. Yaldabaoth does not have creative essence. That's the Lord, the God of the Old Testament, the God of the Bible. He doesn't have the juice to be creating. He did not create one thing. He was created himself by the passing by of the great goddess Sophia, and he just happened to be the strongest and the most powerful of those accidental, if you will, or collateral creations. And he did not create anything else. He just marshaled them together. The idea of that's found in the Nag Hammadi scriptures, that's found in the Hebrew Old Testament scriptures of Yaldabaoth being a creator, that's nothing more than an egoic fantasy. He never created anything. All he did was take advantage. Now, curiosity almost killed the goddess, and it did lead to her correction. But we have to look deeper. We have to look farther. We have to look beyond. And there's an interesting verse in the scriptures, the ancient Hebrew scriptures, that's always caught my eye because it didn't really add up. It didn't really make sense until today. It makes sense to me. As I look at this, it's Isaiah chapter 6, and I think I'll show this to you just so you know I'm not making things up, because we do get a lot of new viewers and a lot of new subscribers, and they're not all up to date on me actually going to the Hebrew and going to the Greek. Isaiah's talking, and I tend to have a pretty high opinion of a lot of Isaiah's prophetic utterances. Isaiah's the one that said that the earth was not created without form and void, as it appears in Genesis 1:2. Include us in with Jeremiah that it was actually a destruction of the perfect earth that was created by Sophia and was destroyed by the Archon, Yaldabaoth, in a fit of rage. And we're going to get to this because he got the best of Sophia and he got the worst of Sophia in those energetic essences that she was carrying as she passed through. But anyway, that's another show. Today we look and see that in the year that this king, it doesn't matter who he is, but what does his name mean? Let's just take a quick look. In the year that King Uzziah died, what does Uzziah mean? Uzziah means my strength is in Yahweh. My strength is in Yaldabaoth. So in the year that this king that said he was the strength of Yaldabaoth died, that's interesting. Isaiah says he saw the Lord. And I want you to notice it's not capital L-O-R-D, because he's not saying that he saw Yahweh. He's not saying that he saw Yaldabaoth. He's saying that he saw another divine essence, a divine being. Isaiah saw a divine being, and the train of that divine being filled the temple. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. The train of that divine being filled the temple. The train, what is the train? The skirt, the hem. Watch this, ladies and gentlemen. It's personified as female. It's personified as a woman, a skirt, a train. So Isaiah saw a divine being passing through. And the train, the skirt, think of the long wedding dress of Princess Diana all those years ago. I didn't watch any of the other ones. Don't know if they had it too. Probably did. But this train of this divine being, Isaiah saw it. And he said it filled the temple. Did it fill some building? No. Did it fill some hall? No. But it did fill a palace. It did fill a great place. Was Isaiah saying that I saw Sophia passing by and her energetic essence and her glory filled the palace of the universe? Isaiah, did he see Sophia? It makes perfect sense to me. Literally, it makes perfect sense to me. Linguistically, it makes perfect sense to me in connecting the ancient mythos. As a scholar, as a associate's degree anthropologist, which is just enough to get you in trouble. That associate's degree in $2 will get you a coffee at Denny's. But true scholars and people that really study, people that aren't trying to prove what they already believe, but people that are actually looking to get the sense of the great ancient documents, want to connect documents together, want to synthesize them. And what an amazing synthesis that could be of Isaiah, who's already clued into the missing information within the Hebrew scriptures, telling us that he saw a divine feminine being, ladies and gentlemen. You saw it in the Hebrew, a divine feminine being passing by and her glory spilling out into the temple of the universe. The temple is the universe is the temple. The earth is the footstool. Look it up. It's in the ancient Hebrew scriptures. So Sophia's essence spontaneously generated life in nearby inorganic material, both physical inorganic material and spiritual inorganic material. Have you ever wondered why the planets closest to Earth have signs of ancient life? Well, they have that because they're closest to Earth. Earth was created by Sophia and maybe more. Earth is the only place in this solar system that has life currently. Some of these other places had life in the past when Sophia passed by them and her energetic essence touched them. Some of these planets closer to Earth continue to, or they have much more recent evidences of life because they are in proximity to Earth and they get some of that energetic essence. But the rest of this universe, the rest of this solar system at least, probably this universe, is dead. It's lifeless because it was so long ago that Sophia passed, and she just passed, and what was generated has deteriorated and degenerated, and a lot of what was generated on her trip from the stellar core to us is now coming home to roost because we're the only place with life in this solar system. What if, ladies and gentlemen, the Gnostics were right in their teaching that extraterrestrials, aliens, ETs are actually the collateral creations of Sophia as she passed through space and time from the stellar core on her journey to Earth? What if the ETs are not interstellar, but they're collateral creations as Sophia passed through? One thing's for sure, ladies and gentlemen, these beings, whether you call them extraterrestrials, interdimensionals, interstellar travelers, they envy us. They want to be us. Why are they always probing us? Why are they always studying us? Why are they always wanting to take us someplace and do something to us? They probably don't like us. It's probably some revenge, but they want to try to figure us out. Why do they want to try to figure us out? They want to try to figure us out because we were created in love. We were created with intention. We were created by the Aeons, the Elohim, the gods. We were created with intention. And they, ladies and gentlemen, are just collateral creation. They don't like us. They want to try to figure us out. Why are we better than them? Why weren't they created with intention? Why did they get their life only because Sophia passed by, and not just passed by, but passed by them on her way to create us? You could see the jealousy. You can sense the revenge. You can sense the rancor. They're merely collateral creation. We are born of divine love. And they're trying to deconstruct us. They're trying to reverse engineer us. They're trying to understand what it is about us that makes us so special. Why did Sophia, the Aeon, try, or why did she come to create us and not them? They're envious. And if you listen to my video on astral holographic technology, you understand they're really not abducting you. I know this is going to cause a lot of people to be upset. I know this is going to cause a lot of chagrin on the part of people that feel that they have been abducted. Ladies and gentlemen, there's almost zero chance that you've actually been abducted. You've been a victim of an astral hologram. You've been a victim of astral holographic technology. What happens is, as the Gnostics taught, the Archons cannot survive within our atmosphere. It's impossible for them. This is a place of life and of essence, and they are inanimate for the most part. They can't come into our system. Think of it as them being allergic to oxygen. That's a gross oversimplification, but they can't come here. So they take advantage of one of the things they learned about us. They learned by studying us and by probing us and by chipping us and dissecting us and eating us and drinking us and doing all these things to us. They've learned by studying us. Maybe they haven't done any of that, but they've learned by studying us that we have this ability that they just hate, that we can exteriorize from this body, which was supposed to be the linchpin to our enslavement. But they realize these people can leave these bodies and they can travel in this energetic essence, and it bugs them because they know that it's just like Sophia. We have that divine spark. We have that divine body. We can travel just as easily to the stellar core as Sophia traveled from the stellar core to us, if we get it, if we understand it. That's what we're going through in the tablets of Thoth, the emerald tablets. And even if you don't know you can do it, even if you have not mastered the ability to do it, you can do it. So what they do is they create a hologram that makes it look as if they've come to you, makes it look as if they're snatching you from your bed, your car, your boat, wherever. But in actuality, all they're doing is creating an illusion that draws you energetically out of this mud hut body and into their realm. We'll call it the astral just for discussion purposes. So they're not coming to your bedroom and taking you to their spaceship. They're not coming into your car and taking you to the mothership. They're coming to you and projecting an astral hologram. It's like Star Trek, folks. It looks like you're there. It smells like you're there. It tastes like you're there. It sounds like you're there. But it's a hologram. It's astral holographic technology, because they can't come here. And even if they weren't allergic to whatever they're allergic to within this atmosphere of Earth, the energetic requirement is far too great for them to be able to do it with any regularity. Saying all that to say this, what if, ladies and gentlemen, ETs are not little green men from the dark side of Uranus? What if ETs are not from Alpha Centauri or Orion or Mars or Jupiter or the Pleiades? I don't know why I have trouble with that word. The Pleiades, the Draco system. What if they're not interstellar beings from some far galaxy? What if they're not interdimensional beings? What if they're just the Archons that were created in the wake of Sophia's train passing through dead, lifeless, inanimate time and space? And maybe there are some from other times that phase in and out. It would explain why they're so envious of us. It would explain why they're so interested in us. It would explain their apparent rancor with us, in my humble opinion, better than any other explanation I've heard from interstellar alien proponents, interdimensional alien proponents, dark side of Uranus proponents. I've never heard anything that makes as much sense as this, and I've never heard anything that synthesizes with the great epic stories as this. What if it's all a hoax? What if it's all an illusion? What if it's all smoke and mirrors? And the idea is to get our focus off of what's real and get our focus on illusion. What if it's all to distract us? It makes a lot of sense. ETs, are they Archons? Aliens, are they Archons? And are they part of this spontaneous creation from inanimate matter? As Isaiah saw the goddess Sophia passing through the temple of the galaxy, her glory, her train, filling the temple, as it were. Good morning, Jeff. Thank you very much. I'm in the chat room. Catherine just finished last night's show. She's watching this one. Good for you. Thanks so much. Cool t-shirt. Thank you. Hello, Warrior Princess. So nice to see you again. Who created our mud suits? That was Yaldabaoth, the Lord, in Genesis chapter 2, verse number 6, I believe. Why is the feminine always blamed, Cindy? Very simple, because the history is written by the winners, and the winners heretofore have all been dudes. And there ain't no dude going to blame it on himself when there's a woman that he can point the blame at. It's really just that easy. Somebody says, why do you call it Sophia's fall? Maybe she was pushed. I think that she made a mistake, but it was one of those mistakes that served us because it created a path for us back to that stellar core. And I think maybe she knew that. I want to go to Earth so that these people can get back to here if they want to. Her consort said no. Then he refused to go with her. He left her high and dry. Shame on him. Maybe she was set up. She got fed up. Maybe she was set up. Hello, Mark. Catherine likes when I reference the Bible. I know we always reference the Bible. Thank you, Warrior. Always men writing and blaming women, no matter the story. Sophia, Mary Magdalene, etc. I agree with you, Cindy, 100%. I should stay more neutral. There's no fun in neutrality. I wonder if she's the Om sound. Interesting. Why would you ask if she's the Om sound? That's very interesting. Catherine says Earth is Sophia's seed, kind of a preview of one of our next shows on this. Sophia's train probably leaves a trail. Yes, that we can follow back to the stellar core. Very good, Max Vision. How does this connect to last year's eclipse? Rachel, I'm glad you asked. Go back, put Sophia into a search, into the Yahoo search under my channel, Jeffrey Daugherty Sophia. You will see that I believe and still continue to believe that that eclipse marked the end of Sophia's correction, and she's back in full power. And she's given us 7 years to manifest and to grow and to move into this full completion of sacred feminine and sacred masculine for the first time in the history of humanity. Since last August, we've had access before. Everything you see is life. It's energy. I agree. When it's all said and done, her mistake might have turned into a really good thing. Sassy Susie, you just hit the nail on the head. Interesting. They would have to follow her. I don't know if they would have to follow her. Good morning, Sophie. I'm sure Sophia weeps regularly over the state of her creation. Maybe more than you know, Catherine. Jeff, check out the show called Westworld. I watched the first season. It was very interesting. I haven't watched it since Anthony Hopkins was killed off. Don't have any more interest in it. Could CERN be trying to pull Sophia? I'm not that concerned about CERN. I never really have been. I feel we're creators and we have love and can experience and create with intention. Yes. Warrior Princess says they didn't tell us that we were feminine Elohims either. It was Paul telling us that woman's no more than a piece of property. You get them, Warrior Princess. Absolutely. Stop probing. Sounds good. There's a thing called racism. Yes. Fire in the Sky, Travis. I forget Travis's name right, his last name right now. Walton. I had a chance to spend a week with him. Good guy. Parasites. Archons in your room. And there's a I'm going to share this with you. John Lash Lamb shared this, and it had the resonance of truth to me, that when they come into your room, the best thing to do is to tell them that, and I'm going to take this up another level from Mr. Lamb. He said, tell them that we're cousins and that you're not afraid of them. But you know what? I might remind them that I'm created of the Elohim. You're collateral creation. So get that con out of my face. One of them was at my bedside, Jeremiah says. Is Sophia Mother Earth? Ask Sophie Starseed. I'm going to ask you to tune into the next show. I'm going to ask you to turn into the next show. Does she know about the Archons and know they're messing with us? Marcus asked. I'm going to ask you to turn into the next show because I'll be addressing both of those. Gary says, we be divine, we be sovereign, and yes, indeed, we be free. I totally, 100% agree with that. So something to ponder. Just what are the ETs? Just what are the aliens? Just what are the extraterrestrials? Has it been a hoax? Has it been an illusion? Has it been a delusion? And what are they trying to distract us from? Why would they have us looking to the stars when perhaps our answers are right under our feet? I'm Jeffrey Daugherty. This is New Cosmic Knowledge. JeffreyDaugherty.com. RawReflections.org. SerpentAndDove.org. We stand ready to help you unindoctrinate yourself. We stand ready to help you create yourself and build the life that you'll love. If you want to work with us, contact us. Information is on each one of those pages. And we encourage you, before you schedule any type of personal work, have the Fluffy installed to make your session and your living of the information that we give in the session that much easier for you. Continue to ask questions. Continue to question answers. I send you peace and love. The divinity in me does recognize the divinity in you. That's why this is the greatest chat room on YouTube. And until next time, remember that you can create yourself and build a life you'll love. And it is an inside job.